Hi, Coleman Riley Taylor of Ronan Stunt Company, founder and owner of Ronan Stunts. Usually when I'm working a stunt coordinating gig like I am right now, I will read the script and try to figure out what the goals and objectives and tactics and expectations for characters that are within the world, and try to figure out specifically characters like lineages and training and how trained they are, if they're in combat, etc., etc. But for the set behind me, what I just did for the Vampires in the Werewolf's Den, I was trying to figure out the best sense of dominance in the scene with the characters, and the sense of who's going to be the most aggressive and who's going to be the most submissive, or in this case, one of the leads was being more defensive and calm and relaxed, as the aggressor was more the bad guy in this case. But usually when I'm doing stuff like that, I try to figure out what I would love for them to be doing, what they're capable of doing, and more importantly, what the director wants. And I'm spitballing down a hill, Max, that I can't stop. Usually when I'm doing stunts, there we go, I'm coming back to it mentally, I try to visualize what the director wants or what the script is demanding. And then I try my best to make it a reality. And then obviously I have to then cater to the talents and abilities of my performers. The stunt choreographer or stunt coordinator, there are two different actual jobs. A stunt coordinator coordinates the stunts. It's a dumb sentence, I know. Their job is to make sure that the safety is priority for the set and what is all needed for the stunts and for the set. For example, if someone's falling off the roof, their job is to coordinate the safety team that's going to be there for in case something goes wrong. Their job is also to make sure the safety mats and all the equipment is ready to go. They also set the stunts so the performer on the roof has a nice non-slick pad for them to be standing on, and the costume themselves that are properly adjusted to the performer. And then of course, double checking and rehearsing the whole stunt of the person falling off the roof. The coordinator's job is basically to coordinate everything for the stunt to make sure it goes flawlessly perfect. And then also to plan for the worst, Murphy's Law. A stunt choreographer, their job is to make sure the fight scene is catered specifically the way the director and the stunt coordinator wants. If there's a sword fight that's European and it's with a rapier, it has a very specific style of fighting and combination. So their job is to then coordinate, and then the choreographer's job is to make the fight scene a reality of what the director's asked or what the writer has written, if that makes sense. So, yeah.
And what is a safety meeting and what's the importance of it?
The importance of a safety meeting is so that everyone's aware of the chain of command in case something goes wrong. Safety is important to go over, so everyone's aware of what's happening, and make sure everyone's comfortable for what's happening. There's props on set, and making sure that everyone's comfortable and aware of what props are on set and what's available and what type of props they are. And then along with the safety meeting, it's very important that it's announced and clarified with the performers individually what props they may be handling or what's expected of them, if that makes sense, for the scene. And then make sure they're also comfortable with it, and also having the safety officers or the medic on set or around at that time to make sure everything's going accordingly. And then worst case scenario, to make sure that everyone's aware that they should not assist. If you're not the stunt coordinator or the medic or safety officers, they shouldn't be the first hands on set or situating the problem. They should be the last people. So like PAs and everyone else should very much step off if someone gets hurt. The job is specifically for the coordinators and the safety officers to be on set, if that makes sense.
Show us how to cheat a punch.
Nice. To cheat a punch, it's a dumb sentence. How the camera is placed looking at me, my line is from the laser of the camera lens straight to me. So my line of here is throwing this. So throwing a punch is throwing across the camera lens, if that makes sense. And that also adjusts, if I'm answering the question correct, Max, let me know, how I want to throw it or how I'm receiving it, if that makes sense. Yeah, it has to cross the laser. The dumb version that we always think is from the lens itself, straight forward, wherever it is, that has a beam of light that has to be purposely stacked, if that makes sense, over the shoulder. So if I was being punched, the laser hitting the back of my head would see that action beautifully. But if I did it this way, it would just see me doing that and that massive miss, if that makes sense, with that laser. So that's the point of stacking, the importance of layering and punches and such with the laser camera. Yeah, hopefully I answered that one. My brain says I speak caveman. Too many stunts to the head. That's what happens.